What's up, guys? It's Kit Dale from kitdaletraining.com, back with another video / podcast, depending on which one you're listening to or watching. What I want to talk about today is losing, okay? Losing. It is a huge part of becoming good at something. It's a huge part of life, and it's something that a lot of us have a really bad connection to due to a few things. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about how important losing is on developing a skill set, and how important it is to shape the way you look at losing to help you develop much quicker, because it can ruin you or make you. Thank you very much, microphone. Okay, I want to talk about one thing straight up. If you want to get good at something, the best way to do it is fail or lose as much as you can. Accept that that's going to be a reality. There's two things I'm learning at the moment simultaneously: poker and snowboarding. I'm getting good at both of them very quickly, but there's one common theme in my approach to learning that's really helped with my progression. It's the fact that I understand that I'm going to lose. I'm going to fail. And it's the fact that I make myself fail as much as I can. I put myself in positions that is going to give me the highest failure rate that I could possibly have. That isn't going to hurt me too much. I'm not talking about going down off the fucking end of cliffs or something with snowboarding. No, to a certain extent. Like, once I feel comfortable with one area, I move quickly. I want to be uncomfortable at a certain extent the whole time. So for example, with poker, I do a lot of moves on poker that I know is technically bad. I play a lot of hands in poker that I know I shouldn't. There's a lot of times I should fold because the hand technically is going to get dominated a high percentage of the time, but I still play it because I want to give myself as much opportunity as I can to lose and fail. With snowboarding, I just kept making it harder and harder on myself. Once I felt comfortable with stopping or just sliding, then I wanted to try and stop. And then I wanted to try and turn one way, then turn another way, then stop both ways. Then I wanted to try and do a jump. Then I wanted to try and do the moguls, I think they're called. I always call them Mowglis, so it's pretty embarrassing. My point is, I wanted to give myself as much opportunity as I could to fail or lose. And I did that in jiu-jitsu a lot. I was never too I shouldn't say never, because there's always like this little egotistical battle inside of me that's like, I don't want to fucking lose, because I don't want this guy to look at me as a loser, because he might value me far less if I'm a loser, and people might not respect me as much if I'm a loser. But if you want to get really good at something, you have to understand that you're going to have to lose a lot. If you try and play it safe while trying to learn, and you're trying not to lose, and you're super competitive, you're going to develop traits that are going to slow you down immensely. You might look better in training because you're winning more often, but you're going to stunt your growth because you're not going to step outside your comfort zone as much. You're not going to allow yourself, just on that before I go on. You won't step outside your comfort zone as much, which means you're going to play it safe. You're always going to play it in areas that you feel comfortable in areas you can win in. In jiu-jitsu, you might be a half guard player, so you keep forcing half guard. And yeah, your half guard becomes pretty good, but everything else is shit. And anytime you get pulled out of your half guard, you lose your shit, and you just lose everything. So I want to make sure, I want to make sure with snowboarding, with poker, that I get as much experience and I fail as much as I can in as many areas. But obviously, I don't just want to fail, I want to learn from my mistakes. So whenever I do fail, I try and break down, or at least understand one reason why that failed. If it was snowboarding, I would try and figure that out really quickly, because I fucking don't want to crash as much as I can. I want to give myself the most amount of time to crash, but it also hurts. So I want to make sure that I'm really learning really quickly so I can, fix mistakes. I don't want to be making the same mistakes again. And that's the same with learning. I'm not saying to make the same mistakes. I'm saying allow yourself to make new mistakes, but learn the old one, or learn from the old ones. So in snowboarding, if I fell forward, I would go, well, maybe I caught toe edge. My front of my toes were pushed too far forward. I was leaning too far forward, and I caught the snow. Maybe I went backwards this time. So I've got to make sure I avoid that and evolve to deal with that kind of situation. But the reality is, most of us are too scared to lose because of the way we associate with losing. We think that people are not going to value us as much. People are not going to like you as much. And it's stupid. Even with acting, I go into certain classes and I'm sitting there and I'm worried about, I'm nervous as fuck because I got to come up and I got to do a scene soon. And then the person in front of me starts doing the scene and they make a mistake. I think, oh, thank fuck. All this pressure is gone right now because everyone's human. Everyone's going to make mistakes. But sometimes we forget that and we put ourselves on a pedestal and we think that we can't do that and people are going to change the way they look at us. Most likely, people are going to like us a little bit more if we lose because they're going to see a lot more of themselves in us. You become a lot more alienated when you just destroy things and people don't really see themselves in you. And even like, it's the same thing like if you look at any kind of industry of learning, like pickup artistry. You don't want to go learn pickup artistry from someone that's fucking drop dead gorgeous or super handsome because they're like, well, you have a huge, head start in this. I'm not going to buy your products. But if I saw someone ugly as fuck and he's like having sex with multiple women, I'd be like, okay, maybe he's got something I can fucking learn. Same thing with all this kind of stuff. I see someone that's made all these mistakes and losing, but they're getting better and better. I'm going to think, wow, there's something I want to learn from him because I've seen where he's come. If he was always dominating and kicking ass, it's very easy for someone just to say, oh, they're a natural or they're this and that. Doesn't necessarily mean that, but I'm just saying it does it equates to more sales if people see you failing than you trying to hide everything. I used to do this with eating healthy and selling meal plans, and we've got a company that sells meal plans. When I first started, anytime I would have a cheat meal, I would try and hide it. Well, let's say I had a bad day and I ate shit, or a bad week or month. I would try and hide that from people because I didn't want to send a bad message or be a bad example, but it's not really. You're just human. Everyone makes these mistakes. And it's important for you to be transparent with that because people will see themselves in you. And they're, well, okay, he makes mistakes as well, and he can still get fit again, and I can do the same thing. You don't alienate yourself from the rest. So I think it's important to understand that. And just the fact that losing is a huge part of developing. Like I said, I'm not saying lose and never fucking learn from the mistakes. Lose and try and, decipher your mistakes and try and figure out what it is you're doing wrong and try and correct them as well. But don't be afraid to lose, because I'm going to tell you something, no one gives a fuck. No one really cares whether you win or lose. So many of us get so nervous with competition because we're worried about what people think of us. Very rarely do we put the pressure on ourselves in a sense, other than the fact that we create this illusion that everyone cares so much. We think we're the center of this universe and we're going to go out there and compete, and if we don't win, everyone's going to think we're a loser and no one's going to want to talk to us and no girls are going to have sex with us or anything like that. It's not true. Maybe the girls won't want to have sex with you, I don't know. But it's, everyone's got their own challenges. Most of the people there train themselves and they're worried about, how they're going to compete later on. And they're the center of their own universe. No one really gives a fuck. Your coach wants you to win because if he's a good coach, he wants the best for you. If he's a bad coach, he just wants the reputation for him producing these selfish desires of him producing winners. But most of the time, your friends just want you to win because one, they think you're going to be more pleasurable to hang out with when you win than when you lose. But there is also some people that would want you to lose because maybe they want to leave real quick, and the more you win, the longer you stay. Who knows? But my point is, most people don't really give a fuck. No one's going to really care. They want the best for you and they want you to feel best. And if you understand this, then you can take all of that away and drop it and just say, fuck it, I'm learning something new here. I'm going to allow myself to fail as much as I can, but I'm also going to learn from those mistakes. And who gives a shit? Failure is a very natural part of being a human. That's how we develop the skill sets in every single area. Trial and error. So allow yourself to fail as much as you can and learn from that. And I can guarantee you will get much better results than if you were worried about making mistakes and failing. Okay. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you like my hat? Do you think I should lose it? Do you like my teeth? Do you think I should lose them as well? Tell me. Anyway, take it easy. Go to kitdaletraining.com. Check out all my other products. The Art of Jiu Jitsu Volume 1 and 2 is my bestseller so far, but we've got another 5 or 6 there that are killing it. So go and check them out if you'd like to. Otherwise, check out my other YouTube videos, and my podcast will be up soon. Anyway, take it easy, guys.